Sergeant Overson attempted to spray the pepper spray in a crack in the front window.
Then after the pepper spray, officers begin to break his windows.
Correct.
Why bust out his windows?
To be able to de-escalate or secure him as soon and as safely as we can before things escalated any further.
I understand. So breaking the windows, spraying him with pepper spray is de-escalation.
No.
As many of you guys know, I'm a law enforcement trainer and instructor. I train and instruct military and law enforcement all over the country on various law enforcement disciplines to include constitutional law, case law, patrol tactics, use of force, investigations, etc. And here in this video, we have a patrol sergeant who completely folds. He completely gets annihilated on the stand here. And it really sucks. I hate watching this because I know what he's going through. I know what he's feeling. And it just sucks that, especially at that level. As a sergeant, this is somebody who is expected to control incidences like the one that he's being questioned on. He's mentoring younger officers. He's teaching FTOing rookie officers, new officers, and how to be cops. And then he's monitoring and in charge of making sure that seasoned cops are also doing what they're supposed to do. So as a sergeant, as a supervisory officer, you're tasked with a lot. And the fact that this person is training officers, this person is responsible for the conduct of officers, but yet he can't answer simple questions on the stand, is very discerning. It's very discerning. I just want to call it what it is, especially something like this. This seems like a low-hanging fruit. And it looks like the lawyer knew exactly what he was going to ask and the why. And very quickly, I mean, you see how quick this was. This is less than a minute. And the officer goes from saying that, it's that pepper spray is a de-escalation tool to immediately just completely, pretty much recanting, completely destroying his own argument right there on the stand in less than a minute. Absolutely wild. And so the importance of this video is what I really want to get across to officers, certified law enforcement, or law enforcement out there that's watching this, is just good report writing. And not only good report writing, but understanding the why. Because what a lot of officers don't understand is that incident isn't over once you make the arrest and once you go home for the day. The incident truly is not over until the statute of limitations are completely done, or it's adjudicated at the Supreme Court level. Why do I say that? Even if it gets adjudicated at the level you're at, municipal, state, district, what have you, it can always get appealed, right? It can literally, a case can be appealed from the municipal level all the way to the Supreme Court. And so realistically, again, it's not until the statute of limitations are up or until it's been adjudicated at the Supreme Court that your journey on any given incident is over. And so it's important that you have a good report that you are willing to die on the hill on. I mean, just call it what it is. That report is really the difference between you and your freedom. Like, you're on a fight for your life when you're on that stand. I don't think people realize, and I can't really truly explain the gravity of it. You are literally fighting for your life because you are now being asked to justify why you took somebody's constitutional rights away. I mean, that's literally what you're doing. You're going up there and you're having to articulate and justify why you used your police powers. That is an incredible responsibility. And so when I write reports, people often think that my reports are overkill. I don't, right? I include all the case law. I include and I indent the peer-reviewed studies. I do all of that because it matters. Because when I get that $500+ attorney, defense attorney who's trying to destroy me on the stand, I'm going to be able to go toe-to-toe and be like, no, I know what I did and the why. So let's just take this simple clip and let's extrapolate it a little bit. So it's obvious there was a use of force in which pepper spray was used. And we're going to go through this very quickly, but it's very clear that the pepper spray use of force is what is in question here. And so the question is, can pepper spray be used as a viable tool for de-escalation or really just controlling an uncooperative subject? And so if I was asked this question and I was doing it for that purpose, I would agree. I would think that pepper spray can absolutely be used in that, for those reasons, in that incident. So if I had the legal standing to make an arrest and I had an uncooperative person and I go through my series of matrix that I go through, I can definitely use it. Now, with that being said, I don't like pepper spray personally. As you can probably see on the screen here, this is an incident in which we were able to get control of a subject we were trying to arrest for domestic violence, and pepper spray was used. As you can see, a scuffle ensued, and it sucked because, as you can see from my face, the pepper spray got everywhere. It sucks. I don't like dealing with it. Even if you hit a subject, you still have to go hands-on because you still have to get those cuffs on. You still have to book them. And so that pepper spray does not just stay on that person. It goes everywhere, and it absolutely sucks. As you can see from my face, you can see from this picture, I am not a fan of pepper spray. But with that being said, if I was asked, right, in this incident, right, as you can see here, if I was asked, well, why'd you use pepper spray for, right? This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, based upon my training experience, I know that pepper spray can be used to confront uncooperative and combative subjects. Well, how do you know that? Well, what's your training experience? Well, that's perfect. So I'm going to give him my templated experience of being an officer, how many years I've been an officer, all my accolades, and then I'm going to immediately reference the NIJ, right? NIJ, National Institute of Justice. They have done a research paper on this, the effectiveness, safety of pepper spray, as you can see here. This is, and I'm going to link this in the description box below for you guys to take a look at. It's a great read, especially if you're law enforcement. If you're law enforcement, I just encourage you to go and it's a PDF, download it. Download it, print it out, put it in a file, have it for memory, what have you. That's exactly what I do. All these studies I keep and I reference, copy and paste, indent, right? Make sure it's cited, and I will include that in my report. Why not? If it's in my report, I can reference it later. And so here's a screenshot here. The results of all studies discussed in this research for practice seem to confirm that pepper spray is a reasonably safe and effective tool for law enforcement officers to use when confronting uncooperative and combative subjects. Right? So the paper says it for itself. The research on this is very clear. It is an effective tool. So I would simply tell them, according to the NIJ, right, according to the studies that have been done on this, it's effective for confronting uncooperative and combative subjects. It's an effective tool, and I know based on my experience in the field that my experience mirrors the research and science-based data that I'm referencing here in this report. Counselor. Simple as that. Don't have to get crazy with it. Copy, paste, cite. Move on, right? And so it's as simple as that, right? So there should be no reason I'm on the stand and I'm getting hemmed up, because if the counselor asks me that, if the defense attorney asks me that, I'm going to give it to him. And if he doesn't like that answer, well, then he can argue with the body of data. He can argue with the researchers, and he can argue with all the case law, Supreme Court precedents that say that it's permissible, right? That's not for me to argue. That's for him to argue. If he wants to argue against all that, fine. But if you want to know where I got that information and data from, there's research on it, and my training experience mirrors that research. It's as simple as that. Don't make it difficult. Don't make it hard. But at least know the why, right? Knowing the why is important. Knowing the why matters. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you guys like this content, please like, share, subscribe. As always, guys, long live the Republic.